We are on chapter 16. I'll share my screen. Okay, beautiful. We'll start with the prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha namo vishnupadaya krishna prishtaya bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukum Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Bande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Wonderful. So, today we are starting a chapter 16, a new chapter, Divine and Demonic Nature. In Satyuga, Suras and Asuras. Sura means who, Hindi mein we say that, जो भगवान के सुर में सुर मिलाते हैं, those are called as Sura, Devatas. And who do not align with the sur of Supreme Lord, they are Asura. Right? So what is the chapter? Divine and demonic. So in Satyuga, they used to live in different planets. Different planet, completely altogether different. You can think about, planets, completely, not even countries, planets. When Treta Yuga came, they started living in same country. Dwapar Yuga came, they were living in the same city. Kali Yuga came, they are living in the same person. Now imagine. Within us only, there is divine and there is demonic. How do I recognize whether divine and demonic? I'll tell you a simple example. Anger comes all of a sudden. And you do something which you can't imagine yourself. Yeah, you do something which is completely opposite of you. And you say, hold on, what happened? This is demonic. So this chapter is majorly focused on what are the qualities of divine and demonic. Now the question comes in is, why am I studying that? Actually, I'm studying within myself how much is demonic quality, how much are divine qualities. And the idea is to introspect within us to understand which are the qualities I should possess and which are the qualities which I'm supposed to get away with. Right? That's the whole idea of this chapter. So we will start with the first. There is text 1 to 3 verse. Let's read together. You got the phone, Prabhuji? Or you can share, Naresh, so that we can just have it together, because it's Bhagavad Gita recitation is very important. Even if you don't know Sanskrit, it's very purifying. Like I don't know Sanskrit, but I like to read that way. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Abhayam Sattva Samsuddhi Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitaha Dhanam Damascha Yajnascha Swadhyayastapa Arjavam ahimsa satyam akroda tyaga shantir apaishunam daya bhuteshva aloluptvam Mardhavam achapalam Tejasamadriti saucham Adroho natimanita Bhavanti sampadam daivim Abhijatsya bharata. Beautiful. Who can read the translation?
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversions to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature.
Beautiful. Tons of qualities being mentioned here. There is a beautiful bhajan. Bhajahu re mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare. One who completely take shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna is does get away with develops fearlessness. This is very important. There are what is that when you see about the animals, you see birds, even living entities. Why do you need insurance? Have you thought about why do I need insurance? Because I'm fearful. What about if this happens to my car? What about if this happens to me? How about if this happens to this? So variety of insurance. And now, like I remember many years back, I used to work for a company who will do mobile insurance. And I was at the time back in India, I'm like, mobile, why would I really take an insurance for mobile? But now it's a big thing. Now everything has an insurance tag connected to that part. Right? Why? Because I'm afraid I'll lose it. Right? You see, I see birds. You know what they do? If you closely notice that, no, they will eat one and then look it around. Is anyone coming to kill us? Yeah. Always fearful. Always fearful. You see cats, you see dogs.
Deers.
Yeah, always fearful. You see them the moment they hear, they have their ears, right? They put like that. Then they start running. Fear. We also have a fear. It's not that. So when one take shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna, one becomes fearless. That's a very beautiful quality. At most, what are we fearful about even after not unless is death? Why? Because that's at the end. If I lose money, I can have some ways to earn money. If I lose my health, I still have a doctor to somehow reach out to. If I have relationship issues, I have some way to figure that out. But death, you can't get away with. You can't figure it out. Whether it is our death or someone in our family, it's at the end for that relationship. There is nothing where you can do a corrective measure to make it happen. Right? Like for an example, if your knees are not working, you get the knee surgery and all that, you're somehow working. But death is, everyone is fearful about it. So devatas, which is like people who are of virtuous quality, they are fearless. What is the second quality? Purification of one's existence. What is purification? One may say, oh, I take a bath. For some people, understanding of purification is I get away with the orders of my body and then dust and all that stuff. Here says one's existence. What is one's existence? This spirit, this material life or this body is given. Why are we here? Why are we getting this temporary body? When we are eternal, right? The soul is eternal. Why are we getting this temporary body? Because our existence is not purified. If our existence is purified, then I don't need these clothes. What clothes are these? The body is a cloth to soul. I don't need that because soul is eternal. I don't need these bodies, temporary bodies. And when I be acquired by that body, or when I enter in that body, all this problems start come. Even the fearfulness. Where does the fear? What will happen? Hey, hold on. But I, what I'm talking about, the phone, for an example. A phone, is it connect? Does the soul need the phone? No. Does soul need the car? No. Does the soul need the home? No. So why am I fearful about? Because when we acquire the body, we also collect all these unwanted things, right? Cultivation of spiritual knowledge, very important. Today, like there were 3, 4 students who came. They came from Toledo, 50 minutes drive, and this wonderful devotee who made some halwa, he brought it. Can you offer to Krishna? Unfortunately, we cannot offer because there are certain standards of to offer to Krishna. But I was so amazed. They drove 50 minutes. His devotee's birthday was there. That culture is there. Amazed with this. I used to like. I was thinking that culture is lost, but that culture is there. That on my birthdays I want to go to the temple and I want to offer something to God. Right? That's a beautiful culture, which means mindful about the real eternal truth of spirituality, not this mundane thing, because that will not take me anywhere. At most, we're just talking about things. Anyway, I'll just not get there. It's a political thing, and I don't want to go that and recording and all that stuff. The idea is we are wasting our time and energy in so many materialistic things that we don't have time for spirituality. But here, what is the quality? Cultivation of spiritual knowledge. Why we are sitting here? We are cultivating spiritual knowledge, right? Charity. In India, there is still a concept of charity, but here it's very rare. Here it is very rare. In fact, sometimes when we come from India, we just bring that habit of, whatever other least used coins, we'll put it in this, that it is said, you know, what is found in Lord's temple's hundi are just the coins or the notes which do not work. Nobody, everyone rejects. People put that, oh, Krishna, I'm giving it to you, thinking that Krishna is not going to understand what am I doing, right? What does charity means? Charity means there should be some pinch coming to our this thing. I'm doing something beyond my capacity. I'm doing something which pinches me, thinking that, oh man, I'm doing something. Not necessary charity means money. Yeah, not charity. Seva, inconvenience, taking for the pleasure of the Lord and his devotees. Either doing seva, either doing preaching, either reading scriptures, either chanting, and giving others Krishna. That is charity. What greatest charity one can perform is giving Krishna to others. So, like Prabhu the other day went everywhere to distribute Bhagavad Gita. Please take Bhagavad Gita. So many denials. How many denials you got? More than 90% there were denials. But he was willing to take it because he wanted to give Krishna to others. There were devotees who were coming and taking from people who were just coming and taking. I am interested in Bhagavad Gita. Biggest charity. Very important. Janmashtami is just 1 month away. Please come and let's use this opportunity. We come together, distribute books, distribute Bhagavad Gita. I'll tell you, if you distribute Bhagavad Gita, you get millions of credit in your bhakti because you gave Krishna to others. And Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita. One who gives me to others, he is my favorite devotee. That is what are we doing? Why are we practicing bhakti? Why are we chanting 16 now? Why are we studying Bhagavad Gita? Why are you coming from so far to wash the vessels here? Only one purpose, Sam Siddhi Hari Toshanam. I'm doing it for pleasure of Krishna. Then now Krishna is saying, this is how you please me. Do it. Thousands of people come on Janmashtami, use that opportunity. It is a lot of inconvenience because our ego is very strong. We never begged. We never begged anyone, oh, okay, please take Bhagavad Gita. Because this is begging. This is begging. I don't want. But this is purifying. Right? So that's charity, self-control. What is self-control? Ability to discriminate what is right and what is wrong and withstand when something is wrong. For an example, I'll give you one example. I went for a party, my school office party. I had to go because there was a release. There was nothing there which I could eat. Practically nothing. And this was Australia, Sydney. Nothing was there. Impossible that even if it is vegetarian, I can't imagine that it will be without onion and garlic. But I stopped eating onion garlic. Very initial days. What will I do? I can't drink either. Most of the time they have some other things, and even caffeine will be there, so I wouldn't. Finally, I figured out there was a pineapple juice. What is this now? Sorry, I'm giving my example not for this thing, but the point which I'm trying to bring in here is when you talk about the self control, you know what to do and what not to do. Standing against what not to do is self control, right? You see, there are so many other paths, no restrictions. You eat whatever you want to do, you drink whatever you want to do, you want to have sex with other person, no problem. You come to the temple. What is this? In India, we say gadhe gode ek saath aa gaye. The donkeys and horses when they come together at same place, what is going to come out of it, right? You need to have. Prabhupada said one time, when you go to the market, like in India, here we don't have market, but in India there is market, right? So when you go to market, how many people will be there to buy potatoes? Hundreds, right? It will be there based on that, right? If you go to a top class jewelry shop, how many people will be there?
Very few.
Why? Does it mean the potatoes are good?
No.
No, not necessary, right? Am I making sense? That does not mean that if the number of people are more, that means that is a good thing. It could be you when you're hungry, you won't do that. But if you have a jewelry, you can sell that and you can have it for your sometimes maybe half of your life you can have with that, right?
Cheap products have more bits.
Yeah. So Prabhupada said, I don't want millions of stars. I want one moon. What even if you have millions of stars, how much light they can give? You see that when there are thousands, at least from our eyes, we can see only thousands of stars, but there are millions. Can they generate the same light as one moon does? Like just a couple of days before there was a full moon. Now it is reduced.
Guru Purnima.
Yeah, Guru Purnima, right? Does it throw that light? Even millions of no. Self-control means controlling the urges. This is what I want to do, and this is I don't want to do. Right? Whether it is waking up in the morning, whether it is chanting a prescribed number of rounds, whether following four regulative principles, and whatever happens. That's very important. So I think I'll go to the purport because Prabhupada specifies very nicely. In the beginning of 15th chapter, which is previous verse, the banyan tree of this material world was explained. Right? You remember that banyan tree we talked about? Everything is opposite, right? Reflection, right? That's what we talked about. The extra roots coming out of it were compared to the activities of living entities, the karma, right? Some auspicious, some inauspicious. We know that karma and vikarma. In the ninth chapter, also, devas are godly and the asuras, the ungodly or demons, were explained. Now, according to Vedic rites, activity in the mode of goodness are considered auspicious. We talked about Sattvagun, Rajogun, and Tamogun, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Progress on the path of liberation, and such activities are known as Daivi Prakriti, transcendental by nature. Those who are situated in transcendental nature make progress on the path of liberation. For those who are acting in the mode of passion and ignorance, on the other end, there is no possibility of liberation. We read that. We have to come to the platform of goodness to grow in bhakti. I cannot practice bhakti at the platform of passion and ignorance. And we talked about that part. Now, second paragraph, Prabhupada mentioned the word abhijatsya in reference to one born of transcendental qualities or godly tendencies is very significant. To beget a child in a godly atmosphere is known in the Vedic scripture as Garbhadan Sanskar. Earlier time, anyone in today's world, a lot of devotees do that. It happened to Nayan Sundari also before. When when the child is about to be born, there is a sanskar which is done so that that family can acquire or that family can beget a child of devotee quality versus demonic quality, right? And if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you're reading on in third canto, Diti is asking Kashyapa Muni that I want to unite. And he says this is not a time to unite, because this is a time when Lord Shiva comes along with his booth praise. So this is not the time to unite. No, no, I want to unite now. Please, this is not a good time to unite. No, I want to unite. And somehow he fulfilled his desire, and immediately he understood the demons are going to born from her womb. Who came? Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu were born. First demons, very powerful. And when they were born, it was completely dark, completely inauspicious. Can you imagine a child just born? Everywhere it is kind of completely dark. That was their power. So it is very important to have a right consciousness of a men and women before uniting, so that they can beget a good child. What is the problem today is not because the population is big. Problem is the population is not of good quality or good consciousness. That is what is ruining everything. That is what is ruining everything. Children are born, they are given iPads and whatever activities they are giving, and they are doing all nonsense. We don't have a control. I do because I want to do my own nonsense. You continue your own nonsense. That is how the culture is today, right? So that's what Prabhupada is mentioning, saying that Garbhadan Sanskar. If the parents want a child in godly quality, they should follow the 10 principles recommended for social life of human being. In Bhagavad Gita, we have studied also before the sex life or begetting a good child is Krishna himself. That's the idea. Sex life is not condemned provided the process is used in Krishna consciousness. This is very important. When we talk about a grahastha ashram, the purpose is that I want to be, as a family, we all together want to be engaged in Krishna's service. Everything should come together in harmony. What happens today? Why today the families have so much of issues, relationship issues? Because the goal is different. Wife wants to do something, husband wants to do something else. Now this is like I want to. A wife says I want to go to Sydney. Husband says I want to go to America. These are two different poles. You can't. So this is going to be a mess. Same thing. But when you have one goal, why are we here? Why are we here? Because we want to go back to Krishna. Let's help each other to go towards Krishna. When that harmony comes in, then it is easier to practice bhakti. Otherwise, it's a chaos. Right? We read the next one. The social institution known as Varnashram Dharma. So there are Varna and Ashram. What are the Varnas? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. They are not the current understanding of people about this thing. They think about in India what they say caste. Caste system is not Krishna's given. This is man-made. Krishna, based on the thought process of people, they are considered as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Like for an example, a Shudra or a Vaishya. If Vaishya becomes a
Business.
Vaishya is a business. If that guy becomes the leader, Kshatriya, what will happen? He'll do everything for his own profit. He will. That is what is happening exactly. Actually, Shudra have become to that level. What to talk about this? So what happens is, what is in it for me? They are not there sitting there to serve. Mujhe kya milega? What I'm going to gain out of it? Everything is just their self, this thing. Right? So that's the challenge. Right? So that's the problem. So they were set up based on people's consciousness. Right? So in Varnashram institutions, sannyasi, like this paragraph was especially talking about sannyasi. So brahmachari is there. That is gone in today's world. Other than ISKCON or some other institution, there is no brahmachari ashram at all. So a child or a grown-up kid go to school. He's sent to his Gurukul. In Gurukul, the teacher understands based on the consciousness, based on the psychology of a child, whether he should become a grasta or whether he should continue brahmachari ashram. Guru would know whether he should get married or he should continue brahmachari, because there is a propensity. There is a propensity of what the thing. A person wants to hold something, he is not supposed to be brahmachari. Let him be grasta. Mentality is there. So they will be trained and they will continue. And then ultimately, brahmachari grows up and comes to sannyas. And if you take grasta, then you take vanaprastha, means you be away from your family responsibilities, you full time serve, and then ultimately come to sannyas. So both of them come to sannyas. And what is the quality of sannyasi? He doesn't have any possession. Like today, you see people wearing saffron and they are running businesses, running product shops, and all everything. That's not sannyas. Sannyas is not a robe. Sannyas is a mentality that I want to renounce. I want to be. There is nothing belong to me. They're supposed to continuously travel. Right? That's the whole idea which is being mentioned in this verse. Then he has to purify his existence. There are so many rules and regulations to be followed in the renounced order of life. Purifying our consciousness, purifying our existence. Most important of all, sannyasi is strictly forbidden to have any intimate relationship with women. Completely no, no, no. They are completely focused. It is said in some of these sampradayas or some of these, they never see a woman. When they take sannyas, they are always isolated from women. Not that women are bad, or it's the other way. The question here is that my purpose is sanctify my life. I don't want to be distracted. And what is the running force of material world? Sex life. Everything revolves around it. You see every advertisement, every product, everything, you whether you wear clothes, whether you have a car, whether you have anything you can think about, is around how can I attract opposite sex, and how can I? This is the whole Western civilization which has also propagated there. Like I went to Canada and I want to go in the night so that I can get 2 days entry. So I went Saturday because Sunday was Rath Yatra and I was like, I won't be able to make it. I want to be there. So Saturday I said, Mukunda, let's go. So we went at 11 o'clock. Super sleepy, but somehow I had to make it. So we reached there. So we entered border. I got out. All pubs were there. People were just what they were wearing, what they were smoking, what they were doing. It just completely dilapidated. And my son, I think he wasn't comfortable. Like, I think we came to wrong. So we had to some figure out because we didn't want to go travel so far because we have to come back again from the border. We have to wait for 12:01 and then we leave. So I come that side. So we just figured out one place and we were just discussing about how this materialistic civilization taking us so far away from Krishna to utilize money for wrong purposes, doing the activities which are taking away from Krishna, and no purpose in life, wasting your money, wasting your time. That is an unfortunate situation, right? So the idea of purifying our existence means understanding the rules and regulations. When Prabhupada came in, so Prabhupada, first and foremost thing, the reality is that Prabhupada kind of failed in India. He started preaching in India first, but he did not have any success. Let me put it this way. So his spiritual master says, you come to Western countries. So he came to US. And what kind of people? First he got in touch with hippies. What is hippies, Their slogan was never trust anyone above 30. What was Prabhupada's age? 70. Never trust anyone above the age of 70. What are these hippies? They are frustrated with this material existence. They are looking for something. So now they are distracted in a wrong way because they want to take drugs. Why drugs? Because then they lose their identity from this material world.
Consciousness.
I don't know. I have nothing to do this with this world. People are just crazy. I don't know. They actually themselves are crazy. I don't want to do anything. Prabhupada make them happies. From hippies to happies. These people, the police department was struggling to take care of these hippies. Prabhupada transformed them. These people stopped taking ganjas, charas and all that stuff.
Hippies means black people.
Hippies means any person, people, not necessarily black or white. They just take drugs whole day. They just, sometimes they don't wear clothes. It just completely, I have nothing to do this with. They are fed up with this. They are still there. Prabhupada transformed them. They stopped taking drugs. Forget about stop taking drugs. They started wearing dhoti kurta. Can you imagine a Westerner, no idea about God consciousness, wearing dhoti kurta? I was hearing, Maharaj was there, he was mentioning about that in New Vrindavan, they used to take a bath at 3:30. Now I'll ask you this thing. in the month of December or in the month of, let me put it, January, you're living in mountains. Okay, not Michigan city. You're living in mountains. There is no hot water, there is no heat, and then you want to go for Mangala Arati.
Take
There was a water part, a water reservoir, which was like mostly ice. But underneath that, there was some current going, which is not. So they have to take the bucket, put it on the head, and go for Mangalarti every day. And there are like not one person. There was no bathroom there. It's like one covered area, one by one. There is a whole line standing. Prabhus, how many of us, when you go for a bath, you don't wear a cold jacket and all that stuff because you have to take a bath, right? How many of us ever imagine about that thing? Sometimes when our heater stops working, have you have any of that experience?
Yes, yes.
I had that. You shy away from, you enter, you switch off the tap, but you don't dare to actually go in. Man, how I'm going to take a bath? Heat is on, but I can't take. And it's not that I'm coming for Manglar. It's difficult. Every day. Who are these people? Hippies. What was the slogan? Never trust anyone above 30. Stop taking drugs, even tea and coffee, meat eating, no illicit sex. That was a shock for them first when they said, oh, we cannot have illicit sex because that's our existence. No, no gambling. 4 regulative principles. They were willing to follow that. And sometimes we struggle, oh, how can I follow no onion, no garlic? It's just the most smallest part out of this thing. They left everything. That was their attachment to Srila Prabhupada. That is the point of purifying our existence. Following regulative principles, following the principles, following the do's and don'ts. Whether I want or I don't want, I should be waking up early in the morning and chant my rounds. Right? That's very important. Second part, the next item is Jnana Yoga Vyavastha, being engaged in cultivation of knowledge. Today, most of the knowledge we are acquiring is teaching us how to be competitive in the material world.
Yes.
How to put the other guy down and
First grade it will start.
yeah, first grade. I want to be the first person. I should get the first rank. Right? That's the idea because only one person can get first. Can two people get? No. Only one person can be first. So now what do? I have to put someone down. Like I remember I used to go to tuitions. At that time tuitions were common because if you want to rank, you have to go to tuitions. So my cousin was there and I was there. We both were going to the same teacher. And I would most of the time get one or first rank or second rank. So one time my this teacher gave the paper to my cousin. You read this tomorrow, this is the paper going to come. She read, but she didn't give it to me. So I came some fifth rank or something, and she came second rank. Why? Only one person can came. That's the point which I'm trying to make. I cannot have two people standing at this. This is how the material world is designed. But in spiritual life, it's not like that. In material life, everything is limited. In spiritual, everything is unlimited. When there is limited, then there is a fight. I want that. I want that. I want that. Like for an example, company has a quota. And this much, these many thousands of dollars, we will give an increase this year. 5,000, 10,000 employee fight for that. Yeah, I should get the bigger pie. I should get a bigger pie. You know that story of cats fighting for a bigger pie. I should get that, and the monkey took it and then take it away. You remember that story? We used to read it in the childhood, saying that they both were fighting. Oh, this is my pie. This is my pie. This is pie, and monkey took, and they both did not get anything. That is the idea of this material. So cultivation of knowledge is to understand the real knowledge is the knowledge of understanding we are not the body, we are spirit, we are soul. That's the body. So sannyasi life is mean for distributing knowledge to the householder and others who have forgotten their real life of spiritual advancement. Earlier times the sadhus would come to actually enlighten people, because people would not go out. But this is important. You see, Srimad Bhagavatam, there are only two kind of people. You have noticed that? One is people who are living in the forest, and second type people are living as a king. What is the life of being a king? Comfort, right? Luxury. And what is the life of a
Forest.
forest person? What is that? Zero luxury,
Oh.
zero comfort. The forest doesn't have temperature control. The forest doesn't have pizza pasta. The forest doesn't have a nice cozy bed. Forest doesn't have fan and AC. But those sadhus are very happy. One time, this guy, Alexander the Great, he sent some of his minister, because he came to India to conquer. So he sent, you find out who's the happiest person and tell them I want to meet them. So he came. You remember that story?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, he came to one sadhu. The sadhu was very happy, meditating. So this minister came. You know what? Alexander the Great want to meet you. Who's Alexander? You don't know Alexander? He is the great king. You should come to meet him. If you want to meet, ask him to come here. He's like. So these guys went. Alexander the Great. This is the response. He got really enraged. I'll go there. Wow, who is this guy who's asking me to come there? He went there. So he asked the sadhu, do you know who am I? Who are you? Alexander the Great. Okay. He didn't even care about what the other position is, because he is so happy with him. Whatever the position he has nothing to do with this world. Why are you bothering me? You just lead your kingdom, man. I'm just let me be here. I have nothing to do with you. Just being there. They like that environment of completely selfless, completely detached from this world. No facility, but they are happy. My spiritual master, he would share. He would go to Himalayas and live there with other sadhus. They would live in jungle with very powerful animals, very, what do you call, dangerous animals, with lions, tigers, panthers, crocodiles, snakes. They will not do anything to them. Can you imagine? It is said they sense fear. The moment they sense fear, they'll attack you. And the other thing is, they should not sense that you are trying to exploit them. Animals have powerful sixth than any of us. We say sixth sense, they have more power of sixth sense than any of us. So intelligent, but they won't attack you, because there is no fearlessness on both the sides. The sadhus know this guy will not, this is not a danger for me. He will know this is not danger for me. That's a very important thing, right? So the next item is charity. Charity is mean for the householders. Very important. I told you about. It should create a pinch. Ideally, we are supposed to give 50% of our earning to temple. Very difficult. 50%. This is mentioned in scriptures. So if I'm earning $5,000 a month, 2,500 should be going to the charity. Now, again, it's not temple specifically, it says charity. Read this. So I'll read. The householder should earn a livelihood by an honorable mean and spend 50% of their income to propagate Krishna consciousness all over the world. What does that mean? Thus, a householder should give a charity in institutional societies that are engaged in that way. Charity should be given to right receiver. There are different kind of charity, as well as explained in the, and later on, the goodness passion. The charity in mode of goodness is recommended by the scripture, but charity in mode of passion and ignorance is not recommended. So at the temple, use that money to allow people to go for yatras. You go for holy places, pilgrimage. You use that money for that. Invite devotees to your home, serve them nice prasad, giving them gifts. So 50% of our salary should be used there. If you honestly calculate, not even 10% we contribute every month to the temple. This is a reality. Why? I want to hold back. And the same money, our tendency, this was before coming to Krishna consciousness, we would do Diwali Lakshmi Puja. There is no Vishnu there. There is no Vishnu, there is only Lakshmi ji. But Lakshmi ji never stays alone without Lord Vishnu. So what are we doing? Reality is that in scriptures, if Lakshmi stays without Lord Vishnu, it's Chanchala. Which means what?
Unstable.
Unstable. The money will not stand with you. Either it will go for your wrong usage, either that money will be like spent in wrong usage, or it will be taken away, or it will be stolen away. I was just shocked. Lakshmi ji never stays without Lord Vishnu. Dharma, people are behind Artha, but they don't want to practice Dharma. Very interesting thing. What does the first thing comes? If you practice your Dharma properly, then the Artha will come and Kama will come. And when you get fed up with the Kama, which is enjoying this world, then you look for liberation. Today, the only focus is Artha. Money, money, money. I want to earn money and I want to spend money. That's the problem. So charity is a very important. The next one is self-control. It is not only meant for other orders of religion, but it's especially meant for householder. This is for us. Although he is a wife, a householder should not use his senses for sex life unnecessary. There are restrictions for householder even in sex life, which should only be engaged in propagation of children who are Krishna conscious. If he does not require children, he should not enjoy sex life with his wife. Modern society enjoys sex life with the contraceptive methods or more abominable methods to avoid the responsibility of children. Completely opposite. This is not self-control, right? Sacrifice is another item to be performed by householder. What is that sacrifice? Because sacrifice requires a large amount of money. Those in the orders of life, namely brahmacharya, vanaprastha, and sannyas, have no money. So Grasta is the only ashram who is supposed to run all other three ashrams. So performance of different type of sacrifice is meant for householder. They should perform Agni-hotra sacrifice enjoined in the Vedic literature, but such sacrifice at the present moment are very expensive. And it is not possible for any household to perform. So what do? We do a Sankirtan Yajna. We chant Hare Krishna. That is the biggest sacrifice we can do. Swadhyaya, Vedic literature study, very important. Give that culture to our kids. Give that culture to our family. Why to read scriptures? You don't have to monitor them what they are doing because their moral will be there. What to do? Tapas, austerity. Ekadashi, austerity. I should not be eating. I should not be eating this. I should not be. I should be only eating this. Austerity is very important. Why austerity? Because it controls the mind. Why we do things which we don't want? Because the mind is uncontrolled. To bring mind under control, austerity has to be performed. Right? As far as Brahmanical quality of simplicity is concerned, not only should a particular order life follow his principle, but every member, be in brahmachari, ashram, grasta, ashram, vanaprastha, or sannyas, one should be very simple and straightforward.
What is mean the vanaprastha?
Vanaprastha is the life where husband and wife are away from each other. They don't enjoy sex life. They are completely focusing on their spiritual life. Nothing else. They don't work on material like jobs and all that stuff. They should completely focus 100% of their time in bhakti.
Just before the sannyas.
Before the sannyas, correct. Correct. Not necessary vanaprastha has to go sannyas, but that's the sequence. After vanaprastha, you go to seek this, right? Ahimsa means not arresting or progressive life any living entity. One should not think that since the spirit spark is never killed, even after the killing of the body, there is no harm in killing animals. We don't kill animals. This is ahimsa. Ahimsa also means not using tongue in a wrong language to affect others. That is also, if you are hurting someone even with your tongue, that is also himsa, right? Satyam, being always truthful, taking closer to Krishna. This is very important. You may say, oh, Yudhishthira Maharaj was, Krishna told him to say lie. Whatever is taking us towards Krishna is an important thing. Whether it's lie or truth is not decided based on moral principles. Krishna says that is what the real truth is. Akrodha, which means anger. One should control their anger. I have to work on it. The word tejas used here is mean for Kshatriya. The Kshatriya should always be very strong to be able to give protection to the weak. Shaucham, cleanliness. We should clean our body with mind cleaning by chanting holy name and taking a bath. And there are a lot of principles about keeping a cleanliness. When you become pujari, you will understand there is so much thing to actually understand what the cleanliness is all about. I was just surprised when I took second initiation, and when I was like, and I work on those principles. My kids are, Dad, why you are so strict about it? No, I want this. You can only eat here. You can take a bath. If you're using a restroom, you should take a bath. All that stuff. Let's do as much as possible. So all that is very important. So all these, how many qualities we discussed? 26 qualities. These are Deva's qualities. So let's read text 4. Dambodharpo abhimanascha
लम्बोदर्पो अभिमानश्च
krodha paurushamevacha
क्रोधपौरुषमेव च
ajnanam chabhijatasya
अज्ञानं चाभिजातस्य
partha sampadamasurim.
पार्था सम्पदमासुरीम्
Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demonic nature. You will feel that we are filled with it. I'm proud to be working for XYZ company, or proud to be about separate activity. Arrogance. And then conceit. In this verse, the royal road to hell is described. That's Prabhupada's first line. The demonic want to make a show of religion and advancement in spiritual science. Although they do not follow the principle, they are always arrogant or proud and possessing some type of education or so much wealth. They desire to be worshipped by others and demand respectability, although they do not command respect. Our trifis, they become very angry and speak harshly, not gently. They do not know what should be done and what should not be done. They do everything whimsically according to their own desire, and they do not recognize any authority. When Prabhupada was here, there was this Rajneesh. You know about Rajneesh?
I know.
Oshos. This guy was there. Give me $20, I'll give you a mantra, and then you'll become God. And doses. What is the concept? You have unlimited sex. One day will come, you will be fed up with that thing, and then at the time you should practice spiritually. But you come to ashram, unite with anybody you want. That is their ashram. It's there. They have a big institution in Pune. It's a very premium part of Pune. Mostly Westerners. Just enjoy however much you want to do. I will give you free license. Is this spirituality? No. A completely perverted reflection of spirituality. No control. We just read in the previous verse, self-control is the most important part. Right? So this is fourth verse. Let's read the fifth verse as well. Devi sampad vimokshaya
Devi sampadvimokshaya
nibandha ya suri mata
nibandhaya surimata
masucha sampadam daivim
masucha sampadam daivim
abhijato si pandava.
abhijato se pandava.
The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, where the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are the born with divine qualities. So Arjuna is giving relief. Don't worry about it. I'm giving you an idea that doesn't belong to you. You are divine. But what are these qualities? The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation. Why we take birth again and again? Because of the demonic qualities. Purport. Lord Krishna encouraged Arjuna by telling him that he was not born with demonic qualities. His involvement in the fight was not demonic. He was thinking, oh, you know what, I'll be killing. Here, killing is for establishing the dharma, not for this thing. And again, this doesn't apply to us that I'll go and kill all this thing. No, we are not Kshatriyas. Because he was considering the pros and cons. He was considering whether respectable persons such as Bhishma and Drona should be killed or not. So he was not acting under the influence of anger, false prestige, or harshness. Therefore, he was not of the quality of demon. For a Kshatriya, military man shooting arrows at the enemy is considered transcendental. And refraining from such a duty is demonic. Therefore, there was no cause of Arjuna to lament. Krishna clarified, because Arjuna may think, yeah, I'm also killing. the opposite
The
party and I'm killing.
relatives.
Yeah, so here you are not belonging to that category. Krishna is clarifying that. Makes sense. I think we will stop here today. We will continue from 6th verse next week. Any questions or comments? Any questions or comment? Clear? So we will practice 26 qualities from today onwards. Read and apply that.
Yeah.
What is the quality which connects you the most?
Self-control,
Wonderful. Charity. Okay.
uh,
Studying scriptures.
forgiveness,
Forgiveness. Okay. Studying scriptures. What else? What else? No anger.
no anger,
What else?
It comes down to the self-control. No,
Anger is separate. Self control can be said that on anger, but this is more on moral principles, which is to do's and don'ts on that part. Wonderful. What else? Charity.
and
Cleanliness.
Hmm?
dharma.
Cleanliness.
You should
Cleanliness. Shaucham.
follow- you should follow dharma.
That is part of that. This is not a specific quality which is mentioned. This is all part of dharma. So which is important. So all this pertain to dharma. So shaucham, which is cleanliness. What else? Forgiveness, you mentioned. Beautiful. So these are the qualities which we should aspire for. How can I wake up early in the morning to chant my rounds? How can I make sure I follow my regulative principles? How do I make sure I follow cleanliness? Andradana Maharaj said a beautiful line. We generally say cleanliness is next to godliness. He said cleanliness is godliness. Very important. When we have things around us very cleanly done, you'll be able to focus on your chanting. It is said if someone lives with a lot of cluttering, that means his mind is cluttered. You will not be able to focus on spiritual life or chanting if you are sitting in an area which is cluttered. You go to a clean, like this room, you sit in the corner, there's a clean place for you to chant, you'll be able to chant better. Versus a place which is like, no, everything is there. Like everything is up, down, and all. You understood what I'm talking about, right? You will not be able to focus on chanting. Because mind is the idea about chanting, this focus is mind control. If mind itself is around this thing, then it is very difficult. That's why you don't chant on the bed. You can, it's not, but you shouldn't chant in the bed. Why? Because bed is the place where you sleep. It's in mode of ignorance. And chanting has to be done in mode of goodness. So if you try to practice chanting in the bed, you will not be able to focus, even if you want, because that is giving you ignorance. Huh? Yeah, you'll sleep in the middle. Or even if you try to wake up in the morning, you will not be able to focus because this is giving you ignorance. So you should sit in the clean place when you give it. Ideal thing is don't chant in your sleeping room. You chant if you have a facility, you chant in a different room, clean place, that you are there. A lot of people take bath and then chant. They don't chant before that because it just get out of ignorance, right? That's the importance of taking bath, because bath immediately brings you in the mode of goodness. Whatever fatigue is there in the body, that also goes away with bath. You must have noticed that, right? Anything else before we wind up?
The 26 are like 24 gurus in Bhagavad.
Yes, it'll come down. Yes, Prabhu. Very good point. You have very good memory, Prabhu. Yes, that is coming actually. When we read Srimad Bhagavatam, this is Canto 11. Canto 11, yeah. Where it says 26 gurus. 24 gurus, and then this is actually, I forgot the person he was mentioning about who are those 24 gurus. What was his name? Prahlad Maharaj actually gets to see him, and then he asked him, and then he mentioned about these gurus. So yeah, very wonderful point. So this is very important that we follow these principles. It will help us to go towards Krishna faster. So I'm 3 minutes over time. Any questions online? Okay. I just forget. Because I feel like 8:30. I just keep forgetting that. So good you reminded. So I still have 2 minutes. I'm like, I don't want to be over time. I just respect time that way. Okay, cool. Any other points you want to bring in? Okay. So we'll continue next week. Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.